So this is a quick guide to install and getting started with BlueSteel. So the first thing you have to do is go to the repository and download the code. You can download the code by clicking on the green button here. And you can either, if you know how to use GitHub, it will be a lot easier for you to get all the updates. I'm still pushing the code basically every day. So I would recommend you to clone the repository. I'm not going to explain how to do it, but there are a lot of online resources where you can do that or where you can learn how to do that. If you don't want to deal with GitHub and setting up a Git repository, you can still download the zip file and then re-download it and reinstall BlueSteel every day. I mean, every once in a while. So you can just download the zip here, and once you have it downloaded and unpacked somewhere, you will see something like this. So you just have to go to first thing. You just have to go to the release and Maya, and you can copy these folder uh, in the modules, in the Maya modules, or you can leave it in the path where you download it. The only important thing is that you don't move it after you install BlueSteel. So to install BlueSteel, you just have to open this directory and then use this Python file, select this Python file and drag it into Maya. So BlueSteel uses NumPy. So the script will detect if NumPy is installed or not. The script provides a line of text that can be pasted into a shell, and this should execute pip and install NumPy. So I've done it, I've tested this only on Windows, so I'm not sure if it's gonna work on other OSs, but it should be able to detect the the path of Maya py and install it and give you the correct code to paste. So if I paste it here and press enter, yeah, now NumPy is installed. Now I'm gonna relaunch the script. If it is asking you to install NumPy, just relaunch Maya. In this case, let's see if it's gonna work. Yes, so now it's able to import NumPy. Sometimes it requires to restart Maya. So it should take you already into the module folder, so you can just click save, and then it will create a module file. And also is gonna create a shelf where you can just click on the monkey and it's gonna open the UI. All right, so now we have everything installed, and let's see how we can create a new system. We just have to select the base mesh, hit new, and create, input a name for the new system, and the editor will be here. So before we start committing the shapes, I just want to talk about the naming convention. So this is considered a primary shape. Um, it is just a string with no digits and no separator. In this case, the separator is the underscore character. So yeah, this is pretty much defining a primary shape. Then the one below, I close 25, it's basically an in-between at 0.25. So the two digits at the end will basically define them as an in-between shape. So here we have an in between, like look down, look left, and which is quite straightforward. And this is the combo in between. So look down 15 and look right. So let's talk about the order of insertion. So there are some restriction. I cannot add an in between if the parent is missing, if the primary is missing. And the same thing goes with the combos. If any of these two primaries is missing from the system, the shape will not be added. Same thing for the combo in betweens. If there is no in between, it will fail. It will not add the combo in between. So we have to make sure that there is an eye close 50 and a look left to insert this one. So if you have everything that it's correct, BlueSteel itself is going to take care of sorting the insertion, of sorting the shapes for their insertion order. So the insertion order is primary first, then in between, then combos, and then at the end combo in betweens. So let's just commit this, guys, and then I'm gonna explain a little bit about the primary panel and the shapes panel, and also about the slider box and the active shapes. I'm gonna leave the work shape for the moment. I'm probably gonna make a video about them because it's quite a wide topic. All right, so we can zero all the controller. So one thing that I forgot to mention is that this object is basically a controller. It can be selected here. It should appear right next to the head, or you can just select the system itself, and then all these controls are available here. But they actually live in this object, in this group. Yeah. All right, so let's go back to the panel, to the primary panel. So here is the list of all the primaries. So I can use the sliders, and then everything will update even if I use the slider here. So the values, they will go together will update in real time. We can sort them by name, or we can also sort them by value. So if I have this and then I got the value sorting, yes, they will move up. This could be quite useful if there is an animation here. So this is a shape panel. The shape panel is dependent on the primary panel. So if I got nothing selected, it will display all the shapes. If I select one primary, it will basically display all the shapes that are related to this primary. If I select two of them, it will display both of them. And yeah, that's pretty much all. Double click here will basically set the pose. Then if you check the auto pose, everything that it's selected, it will be set into the pose. So you might have noticed that every time I select something, that it's something that is highlighted in gray. So the reason why these items are highlighted in gray is because they're basically related to this shape. So this is a quick way to detect everything that is below the selection is gonna be affected if this shape is changed. So you might want to check it, or everything that it's before the selection and it's highlighted in gray is the one that is going to affect this shape. Yeah, of course, if you have now we do not have a lookup, so the primary is not showing up. So you should either see everything or you select the primaries there that are related. Yeah, so there is also one thing that basically will make it a bit more granular, the filtering. So I can just click downstream here and will basically hide all the other shapes. And so I can see whatever is going to be to modify whatever I filter as a downstream shape. And same thing, it goes with upstream. So basically we'll get everything that was there before. Yeah, so that pretty much sums it up for the shape. Oh yeah, there is text. You can filter by text. Yeah, you can type whatever, or you can just click and drag it there and then it will filter. Okay, let's talk about the active shape panel. So basically what this is doing is basically updating the shapes with all the values. And so you can just inspect whatever is at the current pose, whatever is active, and then you can just maybe mute it and see what is the difference. And then there is this slider box. So what is it? Is just basically a collection of sliders. I can get like one shape here. I can just drag it here, and then it will add all the primaries related to this shape. Or I can drag them from here and they will be there, or I can just get the active, we'll clear everything and we'll just put the shapes with the active value. If I want to remove the shapes from the slider, just go right click and then remove selected. There is one thing that I forgot about the shape panel. If I want to recreate the shapes that I see here, I can just select them and do extract selected, and then they will be grouped and they will be extracted here. So I can do some work and then recommit the shapes and fix them. Yeah. What else? Oh, let's talk about this add new primary button. So if I do not have a shape and I just want to put a placeholder here as a primary, I can just click this button and then it will add a primary. So I can name this one temp and it will add the primary here, and it doesn't do anything because it's clear. If I had, so let's remove this shape here, and so I'm just gonna duplicate this and do some modification here. Yeah. And if I select it and then add the primary with something selected, name it whatever, and it's gonna be added here. Yeah. And then if I want to, if I don't like it, I can always go right click and reset the delta. So now the delta here is clear. There's nothing. I think they add the current pose. Okay, so let's talk about this other button, which is add a current pose, which is basically if I have, let's say I want to make a combo of eye closed and temp, I can just set the pose here and then click add a current pose, and it will basically add a shape, a current pose. The the combo is basically doesn't do anything because it's blank one. If I had something selected, I would add the selection. And this could be used to, let's say I want to, with eye closed now, and I want to do a modification here. I want to duplicate this guy, and I want to change something here. I can just, and now the name is head one, but if I add the current pose, it will basically replace the eye close because it's the shape at the current pose. Another thing that you guys can do is, so let's say I have this one and I want to duplicate at this pose. So I can just hit this button and then I will get the shape with the proper naming. So I can commit this one and it will be in the right place. So let's do something else here. And commit. Yeah. And now the shape is committed there. I got this guy here. Yeah. Yes. So here this is basically quite straightforward. Select controller, 0 all, rename to pose. Basically just gonna get whatever is the pose name there and rename the object. So let's say now this is gonna be called, that's it, rename to pose. Yeah, lead tightener 51. And duplicate rename, we already see that. Oh yeah, and then if you wanna unmute all the shapes, so if there are shapes that are muted and wanna unmute everything, it will unmute everything. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. Oh, one thing. This is basically a dark container, and if we publish the model for rigging, maybe we don't want to use that. So under converters and cleanup, there is a prepare for publishing thing. And if I hit this, it will basically give me a warning because basically this will wipe out the editor. It will not be accessible to the by the UI anymore. So once you confirm, basically it's gonna get rid. We will not be able to access the editor anymore, but we still have a controller with all the feature rig that can be sent to the riggers, and then they can, yeah, they can hook the controller to the UI, to the shape controllers. Yeah, so this covers quite a lot. I'll do more videos. I will explain also the MM tools and the work shapes, but I'll do it in another in other videos. Oh, and there is one last thing that I forgot. The shapes can be renamed. So if I double click here and I change the name here, let's say I close, it will basically update everything in the hierarchy. So yeah, I will make it quite easy to rename everything, to rename the primaries. I'm just gonna change it back to iClosed, and that's it. So that's pretty much everything. I hope you like it. Just just leave a comment uh, or just send me a message on LinkedIn if you if you guys have any idea or suggestion on how to improve it. All right, bye bye.